Peace. I can't wait for anybody to get on because I'm trying to get to where I gotta go. I gotta get off. I might have to do this in two parts. Uh, but let's talk about the Bible and divination. I don't have the scriptures in front of me, but we know that there are several accounts in the Bible that talks about uh, how evil sorcery is and divination and magic, so forth. But we also know that the Bible says itself, one example in Galatians 4 and 24, I think, if I remember correctly, it talks about that it's a book of allegories. All right? Allegories, symbols. Symbols are used for divination, magic. Now, a few things I want to keep in mind. First, the Bible, to hide the truths that needed to be held for later time, it had to be written in code so that the truths housed in it would not be obvious, therefore they would not be completely destroyed. When we first come into higher knowledge, we think that the Bible, the Quran, the Torah, any other so-called religious book is our enemy. But you have to mature in your walk and you'll understand that there are no enemies, there are no tools that cannot be used by the magician. The point of being a magician is that you take anything and you make something uh, uh, more valuable out of it. That's the true meaning of being a witch. A witch is a person who pays attention. Paying attention is what witchery is. It's not about trying to dress up in black and dancing in circles. It's about paying attention. If and your mama is the greatest witch you ever knew for some of us. My mama's the greatest witch I've ever known. Now, she wouldn't understand that quite yet if I were to say that, but I'm gonna tell you it's the highest compliment because my mother could go into a kitchen after working 2 or 3 jobs, depending on what time of the year it was. But she always, at least at minimum, had 2 jobs, and always made sure that she'd go in there in them pans and them pots and would put some type of meal together. We didn't have to go and depend on the school to feed us for breakfast and no fast food chain to feed us for dinner. Because Sandra Robinson is going to work something in them pots. That's being a witch. Taking something out of nothing and making something greater out of it. Alchemy. So the Bible is the great book of divination. It tells you. Now, when it says that it's evil to do this and that, now this is why I always harken back to understanding language. The greatest conspiracy that is going on and has ever gone on, it's not about the King Alfred plan. It's not about the moon. It's not about any of this other. Let me tell you the greatest conspiracy there is. It is a conspiracy against language. The greatest lie ever told is that languages come out of some abysmal netherworld that you can't find any connection between all of them. So they've turned the science of linguistics and its multiple modalities into a science of just tracing back things to some roots that don't have any cohesion with each other. And it's always to be continued. Well, to be continued. We've got to, okay, the great secret is that once you peel back the covers on these languages and you find they're all coming back to the same symbols, then you start to get clarity on everything. The word, when it tells you that divination is evil, well, the next step you have to take is look up what evil means. See, the only reference point we have for evil is what has been given to us. That evil means bad. Well, then you got to say, well, what is bad then? What is wrong? Like for me, I'm left handed. If I take the literal meaning of left, it means wrong, it means evil. All right. So, my next step, being a thorough student, is to look up what is evil. And evil means precious stone, from up under. It's where we get the word opal, upal, Upanishads. Upanishads, Upa is the book of evil. But the evil is not what you think that it is, because we've been trained into a paradigm of cowboys versus Indians, up versus down, good versus bad. Something always has to take the role of the fall guy, okay, the scapegoat. When you're reading your Bible, you have to dismiss that whole way of thinking. It is not a book about good team versus bad team. It is a book of divination. So it has to put certain things in there to say, oh, this is bad, based on the connotative understanding of the word bad. Therefore, the people who looked to alter the book and hide certain truths, they, out of their ignorance, would allow the book to still continue to be published, thinking that they could use it as a tool of conquest and control for themselves. But the thing about truth is that it can hide itself even in situations where something is being used in a malicious way. So even though that book has been doctored with and has been chopped up to where we get 66 books in the Protestant Bible, 72 in the Catholic Bible, it still doesn't matter. There are still, the truth is still there. You can't do nothing with the truth. You can't destroy it. You can water it down, you can alter it, but you cannot kill it. You can't kill truth. So that's the first thing you have to keep in mind. The book is not an historical book. It is not a book about behavior. It is not a book about how it's not a book about how to be a better person and all. That's good for children. That's how the children are supposed to learn the book. But for the adult, it is a book of adept, magical, uh, uh, it is a history of your magical abilities. That's what it is. That's the best way. It is a history and a record of your magical abilities, past, present, future, meaning it spans all time. It dispels the myth of time. Because you may think you're reading something that's talking about something that happened way back when, and it's talking about something that's happening now or in the future. Prime example, the birth of Christ is not about something that was 2,000 years ago. It's the birth of your understanding and awakening of your own inner divinity. That is the birth of Christ. So King Herod, searching for Christ, for killing all the boys, in search of the Christ child, is talking about the attempt to muddle the Christ energy that is pervading the planet. When they talk about we got to build a wall, that's the King Herod story right there. We got to build a wall and stop this doggone quantum tunneling. Somebody asked about talking about quantum. We're going to do that in another broadcast. But sister sent me an email about this, about divination, and she's waking up. She grew up as a Baptist. I did too, and how that the Bible talks against. And so that what I'm trying to explain is, to read the Bible, you have to start with a certain framework. You can't start as a law that was produced by somebody else to give you to govern yourself. The Bible is not somebody else's law. It is your law it is your contract that you wrote with your soul. And the different characters described in the Bible are not historical figures. They are states of your own consciousness. Prime example, you take the brother Bobby Hemmett. Do you know Bobby and Biblio mean the same thing? Now you heard a million people tell you about Bible means biblio book. Well, let me give you the deeper represent understanding. Bobby and Bibbo mean circle. See, even when you look at names, you understand what a person's mission. That means Bobby Hemmett was supposed to create a new circle. That was his mission, to create a new circle of consciousness and awareness. The Bible is a book of circles, circles as in states of awareness, of consciousness. So when you read the about the different characters, it is about different states. Abraham is a state. Hagar is a state. It's true indeed. What's up, Krishna? Uh, Moses is a state. Herod is a state. Pick a character. You're talking anyone you want to choose. You're talking about a state of consciousness. So when you pick up the book, then you got a whole different framework to work from. When you see an Old Testament and a New Testament, then you know it is an old version of you going to a new version of you. And the only way to do that is through things like divination, magic, sorcery. And the sorcery is about you transforming your own self. Is it not written in your law, I say ye are gods? God sit on the mount and he judgeth. I say ye are gods, but you will die like men. That was the initial contract that you took. That was your contract that you made with your own soul. You said, although you are gods, you will die like men. Meaning, that is the story of Lucifer. That's the story of creation. It means you originate as the source, but you will become something that will die like men. Then you got to even investigate the word die. The word die means do. Do means give. But you look up the word give, and give means receive. So to die is to give and receive. So although you are a God, you will give and receive like men. Well, men means mind. And the mind is the ultimate tool that giveth and receiveth. When you pick up the book, it is vital to understand these key elements so that you can treat it properly. It is a roadmap to your own journey back to you becoming God. It is the doorway. It is the doorway. Okay. So I just want to touch on that real quick. I know that's real brief, but uh, it is vital to have that understanding about that book. Now, the Bible is really pretty easy, to be honest. Once you get that basic mindset and you pick that thing up, and you can find anything in there. I mean, you can find the triple goddess. Tonight. I know it's a Saturday night. But if you want to get down tonight, I'm gonna do. I have not figured out how to set this live stream up on my channel. It's I'm having trouble with it, but I'm gonna do a Google Hangout. So I think you still should be able to. Everybody should be able to see if I'm doing a Hangout. I'm gonna get down. I wrote down some stuff, some notes at home. I'm gonna show you something, some remarkable shit tonight. We're gonna do a little mini lecture tonight. Either between 10:30 and 11 p.m. Central Standard Time. Uh, that's my plan. Um, las tres brujas de las noches. That's the three brothers of night. Brujas is witch, ain't it? Three witches of the night. Yeah, triple god, and you got the triple goddess is in Islam, triple goddess, and but I'm gonna show you somewhere. Right, I'm gonna show you tonight the triple goddess in you. How does this apply back to you? I'm gonna show you. It's some deep shit. So stay tuned to that for that. And sister who sent me that, I hope this kind of gives you a little clarity. I know this is very brief, but we're gonna go in on this on a later date, and we're gonna deal with this quantum, the true metaphysics of quantum technology, which uh, is really simple. But of course, folks have to make it very complicated to make it sound scientific, um, to make it seem like made a discovery over something that was already been known about. You've heard other people speak on this too. So, but if you got other questions that you want to have hashed out in one of these little video chats, put it down in the comments. I love that. I love getting that feedback, and this gives me uh, some direction as to what you're looking to uncover. And if it's something that I don't know shit about, I'm gonna tell you. I ain't gonna pump fake. I'm just gonna tell you I don't know. All right. So let me get in here and get this gas real quick, and I'll see y'all tonight. The divine destiny of the cosmos. That's what we're gonna call this tonight. The divine destiny of the cosmos. It's Brother Jamal, mastersofthecosmos.com. Stay down until you get up, and when you get up, stay down. Peace.